Hello, everyone. Good. It's a Samuel here. Welcome to today's session. And today I'm going to cover the basics of writing the correct chemical formulas. This is the fundamental concept in chemistry, which as a student you must be able to have an understanding because it assists you to understand not only how elements are combining to form compounds, but also to be able to read and comprehend formulas of the various compounds, salts, molecules, and so many other things that we have in chemistry. So welcome to our section. And as a student, this is what you require to be able to comprehend this area. Number one, you should get the correct chemical symbol of elements. So I believe you've been able to cover the first 20 elements. So the first 20 elements of the periodic table. So this is a must for all the students taking chemistry to have a thorough understanding. Number two, we also have the issue of radicals. So again, radicals are a group of atoms which have a net charge, but they exist as a unit. So as a student, so there are various of them. So it is important you're able to know what is the correct formula. Number three is the valency. So this valency now applies to both elements and the radicals. So you must be able to know their valencies. And then number four is how to exchange the valencies. So if you have these four basics, then you're in a position to write any given chemical formula in chemistry. So we are going to have some examples so that you're able to see how do we simplify the writing of chemical formulas. So we are going to have some examples, and the example we are going to start, number one, we are going to start with potassium oxide. How do we write the correct chemical formula for potassium oxide? So what I encourage my students is whenever you are given a compound, focus on the name and look at the ending. In our case, we can see that the name ends with IDE. This communicates that the compound is made up of two elements. So the question now is, which are these two elements that are making our compound? So we go to the name. One of them is potassium. So for potassium, we are going to use the correct chemical symbol. So the elements are potassium plus oxide comes from the word oxygen. So we have potassium combining with oxygen to give us potassium oxide. So the chemical symbol for potassium is K. Oxygen is O. What is their valency? So potassium is a group 1. That is why I still go back to the first requirement that as a student, you must be able to get the first 20 elements of the periodic table in terms of their formulas, in terms of their valencies, and so forth. So potassium is a different ink. Potassium has a valency 1. Oxygen has a configuration of 2.6. So the valency is 2. So what we do now, we need to exchange their valencies. So they exchange valency. So when they exchange the valency, this is what we get. So at K, we shall now have the 2 that was in oxygen. Then where we have our oxygen, we are going to have our 1 that was in potassium. So they are simply exchanging the valencies. So in chemistry, these valencies are because we must leave them as simplified. So in our case, whenever we have 1, so we ignore writing 1. So if you are going to have K2O, and that becomes our correct chemical formula for potassium oxide. So that is example number 1. So we can move on to number 2.